Friday, January something. Maybe January the 11th. I'm not 100% sure. It's about 7:20. I'm on my way to pick up my Friday treat from Starbucks. A vanilla sweet cream cold brew. The sugar cookie cold foam season is over. So none of that will be added, and some egg bites. Yesterday, I was going to vlog. I just didn't get a chance to pick up the camera, and I had another meeting after school. But yesterday I was pleasantly surprised with both my classes because just these two classes this year, I would say more so my homeroom class than my switch class, they're more reluctant to do, I don't know how to explain it, to do non-traditional in-school things. Like, there are days where I feel like my homeroom class would be perfectly content if they just sat in their seat all day and did worksheets and never spoke. It's almost like I feel like they're all very, like, not all, generally speaking, the class is very self-conscious. They take themselves a little too seriously. Don't want to take any risk in terms of expressing their own thoughts and opinions, stuff like that. My switch class is, more energetic to the point where it's a disruption to them and it takes them a while to like settle down. So I guess I wasn't really surprised by them. But anyway, we played Capture the Flag yesterday for history, and I almost didn't do it, to be honest. I almost wasn't going to do it with either class this year because these two classes have just been a struggle in different ways if I compare them to classes in years prior, whether it be maturity or participation. And so I was like, I don't even know if I want to run the risk of going out there and doing that. But I did, because that was the same thing that I thought with the Colonial Fair, and they did a really good job in both classes with that. So I said, well, they proved me wrong with the Colonial Fair. They did a really good job there. So let me go ahead and take them out to do Capture the Flag. And they did a good job. They enjoyed it. They had fun. And I would say even the kids that are generally non-participatory and less called upon seemed like they enjoyed it. So the way the game is designed by TCI or History Alive is there's, I think, 6 rounds to capture the flag, and every round has its own set of rules or circumstances. And the rules and circumstances are designed to to show how the colonial forces or the Minutemen were able to defeat the British. So for example, and to show, like, in theory, the British troops should have won. So to start the game, the British team or the red team has twice as many people on their team as the blue team, which represents the Minutemen. Then there's a segment of students that don't play for several rounds. They're just off to the side and they're cheering on the Minutemen or the blue team because they represent France. So that's how it starts, and then every round has a different circumstance added. So as we progress through the game, and the game is starting to come to the last couple rounds, one scenario is the blue team is told to win this round, all they have to do is make sure that the red team doesn't capture their flag. So they don't really have to do anything. They just have to hold their ground and stand defensive. Another round, the red team can only win the round if they get 2 flags instead of 1. And that's to mimic that the British forces soon realized that winning this war isn't going to be as easy as they thought. And then the last round, I believe, the white team, which has been cheering off to the side for most of the time, comes in and they join the blue team, and that's representing France coming in to help the Patriots or the Minutemen. And the red team is also told, now you have to capture 3 flags. And that's the last round, and you're supposed to ask, like, the red team, do you want to continue playing under these circumstances? And most of them will say no. There's going to be some kids that are determined to keep playing. And then each round, you tell them the new rules, and then you also explain to them, historically, this is mimicking this in the Revolutionary War. So it takes, a good chunk of the class period. So that's what we did yesterday. In language arts, they started an essay in response to the bells. That's what we focused on this week. And I gave them some background knowledge on Edgar Allan Poe. We read through the poems a few times, reviewed figurative language. That's what my observation was on. He came in and saw a portion of that. I did let them know that many people feel like the poem is about the 4 stages of life, and they were really good about like talking through that and looking at the format of the poem and the length of the stanzas and the figurative language and talking about that in relationship to life. So they started an essay yesterday, and I did once again start the essay for them. I provided them a intro paragraph and kind of told them that the upcoming, or what is the word I'm looking for? Not proceeding. I don't know. There's a word I'm looking for and I can't think of it. The paragraphs that come after this paragraph should be focused on this. This paragraph should be focused on that. And then kind of set them up that way, which I hate doing because I'm like, these are 8th graders. But yesterday I had to tell myself, yes, they should be able to do that on their own right now. If education was functioning the way that it was, and every teacher was teaching the way that they should, and every student was paying attention and learning the way that they should be able to do all that on their own. But I have to accept the reality that they can't. They cannot. They are not equipped to do it. So I have to meet them where they're at. But I did say at some point in the year, I'm going to start taking those things away, because like it or not, I'm sending you to high school next year, and you should be able to start your own essay, by yourself. So pretty much today, they're going to work on finishing the essay, and they have a social studies quiz. So I've pretty much vlogged the day on this car ride to Starbucks, but just checking in and letting you know I'm still here. I am still burnt out, and still trying to figure out how to really work through that or manage that, or I don't know what one does when they realize they're burned out. I don't know if you just accept the fate. There's no parking. Okay, and this car is not being patient, so we're gonna wait. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the best that I can. Starbucks. I don't know where my little cup holder is. I have several. I'm looking for the one that I keep in my car, the black and white one, and I need it because it's cold out here in the streets of Southern California, and this is an iced coffee. But let's see. I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10. So with that, I'm gonna head to school, and I will check in with you guys a little bit later. Okay, I am on my prep period. It's 8:42, and what I just finished doing is printing out copies of the progress reports for my leadership students. And we get those every marking period from the school secretary, because in my class, as well as in the yearbook class, which Taylor teaches, I'm not sure if they do it in 6th grade leadership and 7th grade leadership or not. I think they should, just to set the precedence. But at least in 8th grade leadership and yearbook, the students have to maintain a GPA of 3.0 or higher and maintain a passing grade in the actual leadership or yearbook class in order to avoid being put on contract. The theory behind it is, for me in leadership, you guys are leaders, so you should be able to maintain your academics, and they have to have all S's in citizenship. S's or O's, which stands for satisfactory or outstanding. So in the leadership class, you are supposed to be an example, and yes, I know grades aren't the only way to be a positive example, but it's one of the markers that we use for them when they apply. Like, they have to have a certain GPA to even qualify to be in the class. But also, if your GPA is suffering or it's not a 3.0 or higher, that may indicate that being in this class is getting in the way of you getting work done, because they do have to miss class frequently. They do have after school responsibilities sometimes, so maybe they're not able to do all of that and maintain proper grades. So if a student falls below a 3.0, they get put on a contract which lasts for 6 weeks, and they get a letter stating that, and it basically lets them know that they have 6 weeks, which is the next marking period, to increase their GPA or to improve their citizenship. So I just went through the progress reports. There is one student this time around that's going to be put on contract. There were 2 students who were put on contract at the end of the first trimester because they didn't have a 3.0. So I checked their progress report. They have since bumped up their grade, so they are now off contract, but now a new student is going on, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a rolling process. Kids can be going off of contract and new kids could be coming on. So when that happens, I send them this letter. I'm not going to scroll too far up because it has names on it, but it just tells them how a student gets put on contract. I'm not going to bore you with reading all the details, but it essentially says what I just said. Like, these are the reasons someone could be put on contract. You have 6 weeks to improve it. It also says if you feel like you need help or support in the areas that you need to improve upon, let me know and we'll work with you to see what we can do. But then if you don't increase your GPA or your behavior doesn't improve within the next 6 weeks, then you are removed from the class. And I think there's only been one or two students in the past 2 years. I started doing this last year. 1 or 2 students between last year's class and so far this year that had to be removed from the class. One of them was kind of by choice, and there were some other things going on. So I don't even know if I would count that, but the kids know. So when a student's put on contract, I then email the teachers they work with and let them know the student's on contract, give them the brief requirement of what they need to do to get off of contract, and then I give them a PDF copy of the letter that the student's going to get. The student obviously gets the hard copy of the letter. They have to sign it, take it home to their parent and sign it, and then I just file it in their application file. And that's it. So I have one student to talk to today. I kind of feel like the student should know that this is going to happen, but you never know. So that is what I just did. I am now getting ready to make sure I have the quiz posted for social studies. When I got in this morning and turned on my computer, I realized because I had a meeting after school yesterday, I didn't make the slide for this morning. So of course the type A in me was panicking like, oh my God, the slide's not even made. But of course it only took me a couple minutes because I knew what I was doing to get that done. But I also realized I didn't have the quiz posted. So I'm gonna do that. And then I also need to work on grading these journals that are also from leadership. This is just a piece of the stack. We have been reading the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, but we haven't been able to read it for a while because we had a rally, and then the Snowflake Your Teacher fundraiser took up a lot of time, and so I'm hoping to pick back up with reading that next week. And in order to do that, I need to grade their journals to let them know, are they on the right track with their journal responses. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I have about 13 minutes of my prep left, and I'll also work on the journals while leadership is happening. Today in leadership, they're working on rally pitches. So we have the next rally, I think it's April the 12th. They come up with the theme. So the last rally we did was outer space theme, and that was a group pitch. Like, they pitched the idea of having an outer space themed rally. Then they vote as a class. They cannot vote for their own rally theme, and so the outer space theme is the one that won the last time. And I don't know if I said in any blog, but that I was kind of unsure about an outer space themed rally because I was like, what are we going to do with that? But it came out really well, and the adults on campus, like admin and other teachers, felt like that was the best rally they had seen. And I think there was a couple reasons for that. Like, the theme was cute. There were video segments that they did a good job editing. And this year, I think incorporating recognizing other students on campus really kind of just ups the positive feel of the rally, so that the rally's not just about leadership kids, you know, playing games and putting on a show, but that it's also making an effort to include other kids on campus that are maybe doing positive things that should be highlighted. So they'll be working on their rally pitches for April, and I will be grading these journals, and I'm hoping to get that done today. So that's what's going on as of right now.
It is about 4 o'clock. I'm actually at the mall in my neighborhood because I decided I wanted to buy myself something. So I did. I have a bracelet, a Pandora bracelet. I decided to treat myself. I bought one last year in rose gold. I bought it in Spain and I got charms on it. And then I decided I wanted a silver one, and I wanted a silver one that had little representations of each of the places I've traveled out of country as well as other things. So I did splurge during winter break and I ordered the bracelet and several charms, and they all came this week. But then there were 2 charms that I thought I'd ordered but I didn't. So I just went to Pandora to pick up one of them that I was able to find, and then the other one they didn't have in stock, so I ended up getting something else. So hopefully when I get home I can show it to you. But yeah, it's Friday. I felt the need to treat myself, so I did. I don't know if it was the most responsible financial decision, but I'm responsible 99.9% of my time, and so I wanted to just do something because I wanted to do it, so I did.
Oh, you guys.
Go get him. Go be crazy.
Oh, you stumbled. Ripped the grass out.
Oh. Wolfie's like, oh. That's because Mama knows Wolfie always barks at, what's your name, Jen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. Go, boy. This way. Come on, boy. Come on.
Go play, Wolf.
You're going to do that. Eugene.
Wolfie, you don't live there. I'm on my walk right now with Wolfie. I got some footage that hopefully I'll be able to use of Wolfie playing with another dog that lives in my little community named Eugene. Have I talked about Eugene before? I don't know, but Eugene is another golden doodle that lives like down the way from where I live, and Wolfie is obsessed with him. Wolfie and his owner, so he knows the sound of Eugene's bark and the sound of Eugene's dad talking, and if he hears them and he's inside, he like goes crazy. And every time he sees them, we have to say hi. So they got a little playtime today, and Eugene's owner has walked Wolfie a couple of times when he knows that I'm going to be home late, and so he'll come by and pick up Wolfie and walk him. So Wolfie bought them a gift card for Christmas. So we're finishing up our walk. But yeah, he got a little extra playtime, a little extra energy out, and it was really cute. Okay, we are back home from our walk, and before I close the vlog, I thought I'd show you the 2 charms I got from Pandora and the ones that I already have on the bracelet. So, actually, I'll show you the bracelet first, because then the charms I think would make more sense. So I got this silver one, and it's just the bracelet that has this heart clasp on it, and I bought these charms to go with it. So again, these are not like, when you start adding all these things up, it starts to get pricey really quick, but I did it because I wanted to, and so I don't know how well I'm going to do with showing you guys what I bought, but I bought this charm here. This is just like something about me, like my family is very important to me, so I bought that one. It's just a little heart that says family in the middle, I believe, and this was like on a discount. I guess they're discontinuing it. This one right here is to symbolize just travel, because I want to travel as much as possible. So I believe it's like a hot air balloon and an airplane, so just different travel symbols. This one I got because I have been to Mexico. I've been to 2 different places, Puerto Vallarta and Cabo. This one is the one I got, in Spain. So this one says Madrid. I wore this one on the rose gold one that I had, but I put it on here. This is a suitcase, obviously, for traveling. And this one I think has a camera, a globe, and a compass on it, again just to represent travel. This one has a little shopping bag on it because, hello, I like to shop. I'm trying to show it to you, that one turned around. And this one is just a symbol for Aries because I'm an Aries. And then this one has my birthstone on it. So those are the ones that I chose to get. And as I'm talking to you, I realize at some point I need to get one that represents Canada because I've been to Canada as well. When I was in college, we spent a couple days in Victoria. But anytime I go to another country, no matter how long I'm there, I would like to get something to represent that because it's a part of my life experience. So then I also bought, or what I ended up buying today was this blue star, and it doesn't look like it's doing a very good job of focusing, I think. There we go. This blue star to represent the trip to Finland I took in 2019, to represent the Northern Lights. So I'm going to put that on later on today, or later on tonight probably. Then the next one, it was a challenge. So when I was in Finland in 2019, pre-pandemic, I went with the travel company, and part of the plan was we spent a day in Estonia because you can get to Estonia pretty quickly by boat. It was like a nice big luxury boat, and so we spent the day there. And Estonia does not have a Pandora, and then I looked up like what are things that are specific to Estonia or what makes Estonia unique, and they have a lot of trees. Like a lot of the land is covered in trees, so I couldn't find any tree charms on the Pandora site that weren't representing a family tree. So when I went in there, I was telling her like I'm trying to get charms that represent different countries I've been to, and I need a charm that's a tree, or I'm looking for a charm that's a tree but not a family tree. And at first she's like, we don't have anything like that. And then I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do for this. And then she told me that you can get a charm and have it engraved. So I just bought this little round charm and had it engraved with the word Estonia. And it has a little regular tree, like just a tree outline. And it doesn't say family tree or anything like that. So those are the two charms that I bought that I'm going to add to my bracelet. And that's what I felt like doing. So I did it. I just feel like I'm just going through a rough time in terms of just feeling really burned out, like I just can't get enough rest, or not getting to a place where I feel rested and that I have the energy that I am accustomed to having, and just really trying to continue to embrace the life that I live and what it looks like and appreciate it. And like, not to sound cliche because it's like the thing to say now, it's like really kind of romanticize my life and treat myself well and pour into myself, because I feel like in different ways I spend a lot of time pouring into other people and I don't always feel like it's equally returned. So I just end up feeling really depleted sometimes, like I'm giving and not always getting in return and not being replenished in return. So I'm trying to do that for myself by just doing little things that I enjoy, or treating myself, or loving myself, or doing things for myself that I'm like, oh, it'd be nice if someone did this for me. So these charms and getting this bracelet is a way of me romanticizing my life and showing myself like, look, you've been able to go to these different countries, you have a great family, all of that. So the plan is to just continue to add to this. I'll probably wear my rose gold one from time to time with the charms that go with it, but I plan to wear this every day to kind of keep the good in my life and what's good about me like in the forefront somehow. So that is it for today's vlog. I need to go to Target and get a couple of things. I also need to get my brother a birthday card because we are going to go to dinner to celebrate his birthday tomorrow. Then I'm gonna come home, eat dinner, and relax and probably fall asleep soon. So if you enjoyed today's vlog, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you'd like to leave a comment, please feel free to do so. Both liking the video and leaving a comment help keep my channel going. And as always, I hope that you're well, and if you're not well, please be well, and I will see you guys in the next vlog.